Alright, making a video. I don't know exactly where to go with this one, but I was thinking about the term selfist instead of selfish. Selfist. It fits in with the other ists. Racist, nepotist, that kind of crap. But that's really, it's this, also stuck in my head is Mrs. Anton's strike a balance term. This balance crap that people use. What's the extent of our obligations to service, right? And so, in the Goliath kind of video where I was describing the monster that the human race is fighting, all this waste that we've created in our life, just start calculating how much wasted labor and wasted resource on crap like marketing, selling each other on what we need to buy. It's like doubled the price of everything on Earth. What a huge waste. So anyway, there's this waste. We just wasted suffering, and that's the enemy. And so we're fighting this war against this Goliath of all the bad things, and cancer, whatever, depression, anything you want to put it in the pile of the monster. And all these people expect to win the war by being selfish. It's all this Randian crap that, if we go back to being Tyrannosauruses, all the problems will go away. Well, yeah, right, they'll all be dead. And so I'm the one called the button pusher, and these people are really the ones pushing the stupid, idiotic, malicious buttons. This idiotic notion that you can fix problems the wrong way. The band-aiders, like the to be seriouses, who keep pretending you're going to cure malaria by knitting band-aids. And that ain't going to happen. You're not going to fix problems, with, symptom management. You're just going to perpetuate them. You're just going to sentence people to forever prison that way. And even that argument is just so irritating. I don't want to get into all this stuff, but these people can never paraphrase anything correctly. They're never arguing what I say. They're arguing the crap they mold out of pieces. I've clearly said you can solve these problems with completely, by just creating some carrots. You can have a complete carrot solution. Subsidize, and you'll get more of things you subsidize. So yes, subsidize responsible child production, disincentivize, desubsidize irresponsible child production. Okay, there you go. You're on the right road. Nobody's killed, no red buttons, no Holocaust, but they always want to bring it back to the true statement that just pointed out in honesty, that it is such a high priority, it is such a value and a certain win, that it would be worth pressing a button to get there. That it would be worth violating rights and doing all of this stuff. It would be worth a war to end the horror. And so because you're honest, they claim you have provided no other solution but the simplest and most draconian, that you haven't done any work to provide any other options. So they're just such despicable liars. And then they'll sit there and talk about, they'll pompously talk about your arrogance, which is kind of funny. The pompous and the pious talking about the arrogant. yeah, quite funny. And, the very idea that they claim to be able to judge my intelligence in some way, or even my right and wrongness. Hilarious. Especially when none of them have won a single argument. At least I haven't seen one. You want to show me the video where they won an argument? from what credential do they argue from? And this is, I have made the point. These are all points I've made before. But the real point is here, these solutions have to come top down. The smart people, have to come up with solutions, and then they have to explain them, in some sort of crayon drawing, little crayon, shield bubbles, little Reaganisms, to the ignorant masses and the sheeples. And that's the only way this is going to, that's you got to build civilization that way. It's not going to come, real answers aren't going to come from the bottom up. So once these elitist pricks, have to realize that they have the highest responsibility. They're going to have to pilot the plane and drive the buses, and they're going to have to take control here. And they keep sitting back, pretending that something else is going to take care of it. That some other kind of mechanism is going to make everything all right. And it's not. Intellectuals are going to have to show us how it's done. Show the world how it's done. They're going to have to start learning how to fight things out, come to hard agreements, and then invest in those agreements. Because if they don't do something fast, if they don't take the controls, this bus is heading for the wall. It's heading for the cliff. It's doomed. It's done. You're cooking people with your wishy-washy, mishy-mushy bullshit. And it's just kind of shameful that intelligent people can't recognize, the problem ain't going to get fixed sitting there wasting time pretending to have an argument. Have the argument, win and lose the argument, and let's get something done. It's just so irritating. So anyway, where was I? Alright, the selfish thing, I think I already... you could talk for a long time on this distinction between the two. And, these people who keep wanting to combine, to claim there is something in our emotional character that has character. And it doesn't. You just have to admit that. We're emotionally selfist, nepotist, nationalist, teamist, racist. It is our nature to be all kinds of ists. And it's just stupid not to acknowledge that emotional character is crap. And that all we have to save us is understanding, recognition of what the real value is. And the real value isn't in your subjective, artistic taste, or in your food taste, or in your taste in sexual position, or your taste in ballet, or opera, music. This isn't where value is to be found. Value is to be found in the fact that you can have glorious feelings of splendor and beauty. It doesn't matter what inspires those feelings. It just matters that you have those feelings, that you have your moments of, whatever, awe, and magnificence and dignity and stoic pride, and that's all. The great feeling of the, whatever, sinking the 50-foot putt on the last hole, or shooting the 3-pointer at the buzzer, whatever the thing is, that gets you off. And it's just that feeling, really. And I'm not saying we turn it all into a cartoon and just say, let's all be retards and be happy with Pink Balloon. Because there's no dignity in that. But there's just no there's no denying the facts that all this subjective stuff is distracting us incredibly from the rational necessity to grow up and recognize that all this subjective crap we've invested in doesn't mean anything. I'm trying to find a camera position. Isn't sun? It's behind me, I guess. It's a problem. So anyway, where was I? Yeah. Damn. I mean, I wish there was just. I just don't know how people can't get this. You know, that our biology is bigoted. That it's designed, you know, by crocodile genes. I mean, crocodile genes are making those kind of decisions for you. Those aren't the best of you. You know, it's the, you know, the, how to even explain this? I mean, there's not beauty in intelligence. There's not, you know, that's the funny thing, is that I have to try to make you appreciate the magnificence of intelligence, but I can't show it to you as a David or something. I can't show it to you as, you know, some sort of beautiful piece of music. I can't show it in some way. I can't rub it up against you and say, oh, isn't it the softest thing you ever felt? Isn't it the, you know, it's not gonna, it's the kind of appreciation that has to come from inside some other kind of mechanism, some other sense. That was another thing I thought of, was, you know, the sense of intelligence. You know, the sort of used as a phrase, but having a sense of understanding. You know, and it's like it is a sixth sense. This thing, this swirling consciousness, and yeah, I can't. You know, maybe it's just something I gotta think more on. Maybe there's some way to convey that appreciation. Why you should have a hard, deep passion for truth and for logic and for a well-constructed argument. These things should be almost the most beautiful things on earth to you. And I guess until they are, until that's how you see it, maybe you can't overcome your bigotries and your subjective attachments, because you don't see the power, you don't see the superiority of this new design of the intelligent statement. How you doing? You know, that there is a, it's almost like the, you know, the difference between the 4-inch black and white, you know, green TV and the, you know, 60-inch, you know, 3D vision. And it's, you know, your capacity to understand the power of understanding, knowledge, being accurate, facts, that should appear to you, you know, as the, you know, the far superior mechanism, even on some sort of visceral, subjective level. You know, you should have been conditioned by now, you know, to have that kind of affinity. And maybe that is a distinction. So I suppose it's one of those things I always found very appealing. You know, was a brilliant phrase. Something I couldn't unravel. I couldn't take apart and say, here's the flaw in that. Yeah. You know. Well, anyway, it doesn't really matter. I'm just trying to understand why people can't understand.